If anybody needed that assistance, it was going to be somebody like Dak Prescott. At the present moment, let me remind everybody about these Cowboys. Rushing offense, dead last. Yards per rush, dead last. Offensive turnovers, 30th. Red zone offense, 30th. There's no excuse to go out there publicly and trying to explain it. It's embarrassing. To say what he said about Derrick Henry literally makes him look like he doesn't know football. And right now, Derrick Henry has 873 yards rushing. The entire Dallas Cowboys team has 463.
Good gracious.
How about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And y'all know I had to make a video about First Take because they were talking about the owner of our Dallas Cowboys. And on today's episode of First Take, Molly Curum, Shannon Sharpe, Stephen A. Smith, and Jeff Saturday discussed the heights that Derrick Henry has saw ever since he joined the Baltimore Ravens. And they also talk about what it would have been like if the Dallas Cowboys were to acquire Derrick Henry, and also covered Jerry Jones's words during the interview on 105.3 The Fan. So we're going to take a listen to the two clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's go ahead and take a listen to the first clip, which is Shannon Sharpe.
Jerry, stop talking, because the more you talk, the worse this situation gets.
Yeah.
The more upset when you Cowboys fans get is because they see what he's doing. They see you can't run the football. You make no attempt to run the football because you know you don't have guys that are capable of running the football. The more you talk, Jerry, the worse it's going to get, because everybody's seeing what Derrick Henry is doing. That's really not their offense. They like to have their backs in the offset.
Amen.
In his own read scheme. They found a situation. They put his heels at 8 yards. They'll either hand it to him or toss it to him, Ricard leading the way.
You know, Cowboys Nation, I can understand what Shannon Sharpe is talking about right there. Jerry, if you're going to get on 105.3 The Fan and do some tap dancing and just skirt around the answer, why go on the radio station to begin with? The fans out here want to know why you didn't acquire Derrick Henry, why you didn't acquire a running back that could have moved the pile, could have been our premier back, our number one back for the season, instead of going with this running back by committee thing. And I know that it has to do with loyalty, because if it didn't, you wouldn't have brought back Zeke Elliott. Another thing about this running back room is the fact that you don't give the current running backs enough carries to even get in a groove during the game. How in the world do you think that a running game is going to be established when you only give the entire group of running backs 11 carries per game? It just seems like you want to throw it all around the field, and we just don't have the weapons to do that, Cowboys Nation. But jumping into the second clip that I got for you, Stephen A. Smith gives his reason as to why Jerry Jones has created this dereliction of duty by not attaining a running back during the offseason, especially Derrick Henry. So we're going to take a listen to that, and you know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Cowboys Nation, let's go ahead and take a listen to Stephen A. Smith.
We all said somebody else needs to be running football operations for the Dallas Cowboys. There has never been a soundbite, in my estimation, that has emanated out of the mouth of Jerry Jones that has indicted himself to such a degree that it made you say even more, somebody else needs to be running a franchise. Because to say what he said about Derrick Henry literally makes him look like he doesn't know football. And I'm not accusing him of not knowing football, because I thought he's put together a damn good rosters for the Dallas Cowboys over the years. But this statement and this explanation for Derrick Henry is more indictable against Jerry Jones, more self-inflicting against him than anything that has come out of his mouth?
Cowboys Nation, I have always said that I don't know if Jerry Jones knows the X's and O's when it comes to football. He knows how to run a football team as far as a business aspect, as far as a business venture, but does he really know the game of football? But you know what? We're going to go ahead and get into this. Y'all ready for my Raw and Uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. I know it's kind of like beating the dead horse, Cowboys Nation. It's like beating a dead horse because the last couple of videos that I did, they've been about Jerry Jones. They've been about the dereliction of duty when it comes to Jerry Jones being the GM of the Dallas Cowboys. I am a proponent. I am a pusher. I am a fond believer in the hashtag fire the GM, Jerry, because we need a real GM in here to get us over the hump. We need a real GM that's going to come in here and that's going to conduct business as a real GM should, and not one that is just looking at it because it's his business and it's his bottom line that he's working with. Derrick Henry went over to the Baltimore Ravens, and the Baltimore Ravens changed their entire scheme on the offensive side of the ball to accommodate him more, to take some of the pressure off of Lamar Jackson so that he doesn't have to run the football all the time. Now he has a power back right behind him to be able to run the football. No diddy. This is something that the Dallas Cowboys could have used, especially this year. Now we have this whole running back by committee thing that is just not working. I don't know if it's the running backs themselves or if it's the scheme that Mike McCarthy's putting together, because for some reason it seems like Mike McCarthy doesn't know how to use a tailback in his offensive scheme. It's all about airing the ball out, and we know that doesn't work whenever it comes to playoff football. But Jerry Jones really dropped the ball this past offseason, Cowboys Nation. Jerry Jones dropped the ball going into free agency. Jerry Jones dropped the ball going into the draft. Jerry Jones dropped the ball when he saw during the preseason that our running backs weren't doing as well as they could have been. Some people will say that it's the offensive line. Some people will say that it's the running backs coach. But when it all comes down to the come down, all these people, player and coaches alike, have to go through Jerry Jones in order to sign that contract. This is why I give Jerry Jones all the smoke about Cowboys Nation, is because if you didn't want this player on the team, he wouldn't be on the team. Back in the day, if a player didn't do his job, if he didn't do his job correctly, they didn't give a damn about the money. They just got rid of him and got a player that could do the job. We don't see that nowadays, Cowboys Nation. But then to go into this season knowing that you need a halfback to help out your quarterback, a halfback to take the pressure off your quarterback, you're just going to go into the season with running backs by committee and just allow them to get 12 to 15 touches combined. And that's between 3 running backs. That's crazy to me, Cowboys Nation. We do have a capable running back in that running back room in Rico Dowdle and Hunter Lipke, so we could give these guys a little bit more of the carries than what we're giving them. We could try to elevate Dalvin Cook to give this offense a little more bang for its buck when it comes to the running game. But for some reason, I don't know what that reason is, Jerry Jones will not budge. It's as if he has his loyalty to Deuce Vaughn and Ezekiel Elliott that he won't take them off the active roster. But I'm rooting for my man Deuce Vaughn, man. I hope that he can get some more touches on the ball, some more reps during the season so that he can become a premier back, because I believe he has the ability to be that scat back that a team deserves. I don't know if it's the Dallas Cowboys, but a team deserves. And one thing, you can actually put Deuce Vaughn on the practice squad, and I don't believe any other team will touch him just to do with his size. So you'll be able to experiment in that realm by bringing Dalvin Cook up and changing up this running back by committee just a little bit. But as far as not getting Derrick Henry when you had the opportunity to, that is a dereliction of duty. And I am glad that the 4 and 3 letter networks are finally holding your feet to the fire instead of blaming the players. That's one thing that I cannot stand, Cowboys Nation. I cannot stand when I get up here and try to fight the fight against Jerry Jones, try to push this hashtag fire the GM Jerry, but then you'll have those fans that'll say that, well, Jerry's not out there running the ball. Well, Jerry's not out there blocking. He's not throwing. He's not catching. But he's putting the people there. Or lack thereof, Cowboys Nation. He's the one responsible, putting the coaches where they're supposed to be. He's the one that's responsible for hiring the coaches, the position coaches, the coaches that aren't doing a good job. Remember, guys, he held on to Jason Garrett when Jason Garrett was mediocre for years. That has nothing to do with Dak Prescott. That has nothing to do with CeeDee Lamb or the current salary cap. Jerry Jones is a loyalist, and he is most loyal to the ones that are most loyal to him. Hence why he has a relationship with Stephen A. Smith. Hence why Jason Garrett stayed on the team as the head coach for so long. Hence why Mike McCarthy had to take on Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was his guy. And the fact that Derrick Henry is over in Baltimore balling out, for one, I'm happy for the guy, but two, it makes me sick to my stomach because he could have been balling out for us. Even if he didn't do what he's doing right now, he could have been balling out for us. Even if he did just over half of what he's doing now, he would be doing better than the running back by committee that we have in Dallas. But how many times is something like this going to happen, Cowboys Nation? How many times is something like this going to happen? How many times are we going to overlook a player? How many times are we going to not pick up the phone and call a player and expect them to call us before you guys realize that it's not the players on the team, but it's Jerry Jones? How many times is this going to happen before you guys start to realize that this is a story of Rumpelstiltskin and y'all expecting Rumpelstiltskin to turn straw into gold? I'm sorry, but no matter whoever we have on this team, Dak Prescott and the offense is expected to take them to the Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy as the coach is expected to get them to the Super Bowl, even though the talent between your dogs and their roster depth is a huge drop-off, Cowboys Nation. They're just expected to take what they have and get to a Super Bowl with it. That's just not football, Cowboys Nation. That's not a winning culture, Cowboys Nation. We don't know what our culture is because our owner don't know what the culture is. Our coaches don't know what the culture is. What's the identity we have as the Dallas Cowboys? We're not physical. We don't ground and pound. It's not an air raid attack over here. What is our identity? And bringing Derrick Henry to the Dallas Cowboys would have established an identity. Even if we had two rookies on the offensive line, Derrick Henry would have been able to find a way to get positive yardage. The Tennessee Titans had one of the worst offensive lines last year, and still Derrick Henry got over 1,000 yards rushing. Accountability, Jerry. Something that you have to take. Responsibility, Jerry. I'm not going to sit up here and put all the blame and all the woes on any of the players on this team. Yes, they have to man up. They have to tighten up. They have to get better. They have to push themselves to the limit. But damn it, so does Jerry Jones. So does Stephen Jones. That front office needs to push themselves to the limit. That front office needs to put in the same amount of effort that they expect the Dallas Cowboys players to put out. Each and every game day, they out there blood, sweat, and tears while Jerry Jones is up there eating. They need help, and Derrick Henry would have helped them this year. Anybody in the offseason would have helped them this year. D-Hop is still available, but still, you will not budge. Amari Cooper was available till he went to the Bills. Devontae Adams was available until he went to the Jets. Still in all, Jerry Jones twiddling his thumbs on his yacht, thinking that we're good because we like our guys, when our guys aren't good enough. Our guys haven't been good enough since the 2021 season. Last year, we were lucky to be where we were in the playoffs. Thanks to the Philadelphia Eagles, they gave us the NFC East last year. But if it was up to us earning it, we wouldn't have earned it last year. Thank goodness that the Eagles slipped when they did. But there was somebody on TikTok that said, well, maybe Jerry's not making any moves so that it can carry over into the offseason of the 2025 year and we can attain more players then. But I'm like, that's not what happened. That's not what happened in history for the Dallas Cowboys. We haven't done that in recent history. Every time there's been some money that we've saved, we haven't went out and got a premier player. We've always got the bargain bin players. We always got the USFL players, the ones from the XFL, the ones that are undrafted free agents. We had never in the last 5 to 10 years haven't really went out there and got somebody other than Amari Cooper. But things have got to change, Cowboys Nation. In order to get to a Super Bowl, you got to make Super Bowl moves. Yes, the players on the field have to play Super Bowl caliber play, but the people in the front office have to make Super Bowl caliber moves so that the coaches have Super Bowl caliber players to run the scheme. And if the scheme is an issue, get rid of your coach. But Cowboys Nation deserves better than this, Jerry. Cowboys Nation deserves much better than this. And I hope you realize this. I hope you realize with all the scrutiny that you're getting from the 4 and 3 letter networks, from all the scrutiny that you're getting from the fans on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. I hope you know that we're pissed off and we expect better from the Dallas Cowboys. But the question that I got for you, do you expect better? Do you expect better from the Dallas Cowboys? Because if you did, you would put them in a better position than you have. I mean, it's a tinfoil hat theory, but the way you're running the team this year, it seems like you want to set people up for failure. Yes, Dak Prescott's got his bag, CeeDee Lamb has got his bag, but right now, Micah Parsons ain't looking like the highest paid non-quarterback position right now. And that works in your favor because you can have that argument when it comes to his contract negotiation coming up this offseason, and you better get it done. But I've also heard the fact that people want to see if Micah Parsons would garner even more draft capital and a player or two. I don't agree with it. But hey, everybody has their thoughts and opinions when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. But to end this video, I am super happy that everybody is holding Jerry Jones's feet to the fire because he deserves it. Ever since that 105.3 The Fan interview where he gave Sean and RJ his ass to kiss, everybody has pulled the curtain on Jerry Jones and they see the real true Jerry Jones for what he is. And what he is cheap. How many times have I said it on this channel? Jerry Jones is cheap, and until he starts wanting to make Super Bowl moves, we're never going to make it to the Super Bowl, unfortunately, Cowboys Nation. So until Jerry Jones embraces that big C word called change, it's going to be a bumpy road for our Dallas Cowboys. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. What did you think about what the crew of First Take had to say? What do you feel about my assessment? Are we beating a dead horse here, Cowboys Nation? Y'all know what we doing. Let's have an adult conversation up there in that comment section. You know what I'm saying? But if you're digging the content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on the video and share it with anybody you know is a Dallas Cowboy fan. If you are DC for life and wish that it would just get through Jerry Jones's thick skull that he needs to help this team, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, or Madden 25 and College Football 25 gameplay. Cowboys Nation is at the point of wanting to boycott you, Jerry. Don't you get it? I understand you have the $1 billion playpen and you can use it for anything that you want, but when it comes down to the reason that you got that $1 billion playpen to begin with, it seems like you're neglecting them. It's about damn time that you give the Dallas Cowboy fans and the Dallas Cowboy players what they want, and that's players on the team to contend for a Super Bowl. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.